Hi everyone, today I'm going to be talking about the relationship between Miami University and the city of Oxford. Specifically, I will be analyzing how we can create an effective and engaging community that creates a mutually beneficial relationship between Miami University and the city of Oxford. So to begin, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Chloe Henriette. I am a second year student at Miami University. I'm studying political science, and when I'm not busy doing that and doing schoolwork, I'm an assistant track coach at Talawanda High School. This is my second year being an assistant track coach there, and I also lead Young Life at Talawanda High School. And so between these two activities, I spend over 20 hours a week, really, with high school students and with members of the community of Oxford. And this has led me to really get kind of a secondhand almost view of what it looks like to be someone who's from Oxford and someone who lives here and is affected by students at Miami. I feel like I kind of have a unique perspective on this. I'm not from Oxford originally. I'm from Columbus, and so I stepped into this community as a student at Miami. But then through my time of volunteering and spending time with people who live in Oxford, I've gotten to see the more personal side of it and how Miami University truly does affect the people in Oxford, both positive and in negative ways. And this has made this issue very personal for me. And also very interesting. I had a lot of questions going into this, a lot of questions that I have had to ask my friends and different people that I know who are from Oxford. But I think part of why I found this so interesting is truly because I feel like I know the people of Oxford. I have deep relationships with them, and I see the ways that Miami does affect them. And so I really wanted to explore what this would look like, and I hope that we can have just a engaging an informed discussion really about what the relationship could look like and what it looks like now. So kind of an overview, an outline of sorts of what I'm going to be discussing in this presentation. I'm going to be exploring what the relationship between Miami and Oxford is right now. So kind of the current state of things, what we can expect to see from that. And then also what areas can use improvement. What are specific things that are going wrong, things that we need to address, things that we need to pay attention to. What benefits can occur if this complex problem is addressed. So not only what things are going wrong, but truly what can go right if those things are addressed is what I'm going to be talking about. And then I also want to talk about why you should care about this. Why is this an issue that matters to the people of Oxford, to the people at Miami? Why does this need to be addressed? I hope that these are things that you can get out of this presentation. So thank you very much for your time, and let's begin. So unsurprisingly, the town of Oxford has an extreme disproportion in their age groups. So as you can see in this graph from thecityofoxford.org, the proportion of people from ages 20 to 24 is just skyrocketed past any other age group, which this should not come as a surprise. This is not something that is new, but it's really seeing it as a visual, and also ages 15 to 19, which if we think about the ages of college students would be 18 through 22. This is just a large amount of people who are just disproportionate to the rest of the population. And what is so interesting too about this is that this population isn't here all year round, but it is during the Miami academic calendars. And so students enter in mass quantities when the semester begins, and then on breaks they go home and then they come back, and it's just this wave of people coming in and out. So as I mentioned before, when students are on break, the population of the town decreases significantly. I really wanted to make a visual just to help us understand how much that is. And so there are over 16,000 students at Miami University, and the population of Oxford is around 21,000. And so if you add 16,000 people to a 21,000 city population, that almost doubles the population of the entire city. And so to think that this would not have an effect, or to not consider the effect that it would have, truly doesn't make any sense, because we were seeing almost double the population coming in when students are entering in. And so this really poses a lot of questions and gives us a lot of material to work with when talking about areas that are going well, and then also areas that need improvement. So for as far as areas that need improvement, I want to start by discussing what studentification is. So Nathan Foote, in an academic journal, he describes studentification as the concept of how student housing affects the rest of the population. So studentification is when housing that is created and is specifically catered towards students, college students in particular. And so realtors truly capitalize off student demands for housing, creating higher prices. And this also limits other residents in the population. They're left with limited options and high prices because of just this high demand of students who are willing to pay for housing because they have nowhere else to go. And so they need housing, and realtors know this. And so they will truly just capitalize off that, and it leads to deprived resources. And as I said before, just a large decrease in the amount of affordable housing options. This creates a lot of issues, as you can see, of people who are stuck having to pay significantly higher prices for lower quality homes. And this studentification really does has a negative effect on people in the community of Oxford. In this article specifically, it wasn't referencing Miami University in particular, but this same concept can be applied to what we see here in Oxford. Next, I want to talk about the economy of college towns as a general concept. The economy of college town, as I've discussed before, is truly just very unique because of the extra factor of mass amounts of people coming in all at once. This has effects on the people, but it also truly has effects on the businesses, local businesses, as well as franchises, and all other people who are part of just the working force of the community of Oxford. Having this many people just come in all at once and go all at once, it impacts how you run a business, and it impacts everything about that. So I have this graph on here that's from an academic article by Sean Grady, and this is a data set that he had come up with through significant research, and it shows the difference between the income levels of those who live within college towns and those who don't. And so this talks about how, based on this research, those who live in college towns are more likely to have a higher income rate than those who don't, which this is interesting when thinking about how the economy of a college town is so impacted by the students coming in and out, but truly just the workforce itself of people in a college town are statistically people who have higher paying jobs. And so later in this article, it is further explained that this is because there's more likely to be a higher concentration of people with higher educations in college towns, which really, if you think about that it's kind of putting two and two together. If there's a university nearby, the university often wants to get people who go to that university to stay close by, and so it would make sense that there would be that higher rate of people who are in higher education in a university town. So 3 questions that we can ask concerning this issue. These are 3 questions that were come up with by Joseph Stevenson in an article talking about the relationship between Sacramento and Golden Gate University. But I really found these questions to be very interesting and things that are helpful for us to talk about when thinking about how we can create this mutually beneficial relationship. So the first one, how could collaborative leadership be implemented to promote community and contribute to economic development? The second one, how can unique organizational characteristics be respected? And then the third one, how could resources be shared to promote efficiency and production? So all 3 of these questions really are focused around the central idea of working together, which that truly is kind of my main point of this presentation, is that Miami University and the city of Oxford should be working together. And when that happens, both can benefit from that, and it truly creates this really beautiful relationship that benefits the economy, benefits the people, and yes, it's overall just a very good thing. And so I think these questions are good things to consider when talking about how we can create this beneficial relationship. So why does this all matter? Why should you care about this issue? If we take this seriously, we can have increased engagement within the community, increased support for governmental policies, and then also increased economic growth and understanding for each other. So these are three things really for the community of Oxford that ultimately will benefit Miami as well. But then also specifically for Miami, this creates a support system of members working with the community of Oxford. And so it's truly, there's a support system. We are working together, and it's not two separate things, but we are in this together. So where does that leave us now? Some things that I think would be important to address and some steps that we can take is working with realtors to provide affordable housing to Oxford residents. As I discussed with studentification, this is a real issue that does affect the personal lives of people looking for affordable housing. We can also create policies that encourage Miami to be mindful of decisions made that will impact the people in Oxford. Also providing opportunities for engagement between Miami University and Oxford residents. And so if we are creating these opportunities, then there will be increased engagement, and there will be just an increased relationship, a positive relationship that is created. And specifically, President Crawford carries a major role in all of this. And so it's very important to remember that while we were working this together, the president arguably has the most influence in dealing with this issue. A quote from an academic article by Lawrence Weil says, "College presidents should strive to engage their colleges and communities to develop a college town atmosphere and economy." We are very lucky here at Miami that we have a president who does a really good job of this. And we have seen this through, even in this photo, we see him out and about and truly just, he is engaged with the community, engaged with the students. And so while there is always room to improve, I do think that our president has been doing a very good job of creating this mutually beneficial relationship. I truly believe that if we come together, we can create a community where Oxford and Miami work side by side to benefit each other. So thank you so much for listening. I hope that you feel better equipped to address the relationship between Miami and Oxford. And overall, just remembering that this is an issue that is ongoing, that there are more questions to be asked, there's more things to be learned. But I hope that this was a good overview and raised some interesting questions for you to think about in particular.